All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to CAGcast episode number 748. I'm your host, GBD, here in Long Island, New York. And as always, we're joined by a man whose number one favorite game of 2022 is sure to be an absolute fucking mystery, Wombat.
That's actually the name of the game. I can't believe you guessed it.
Absolute fucking mystery?
Absolute fucking mystery. That's the name of the game. It was made by Namco. I don't know if you played it.
They usually don't curse that much, I feel.
It was,
except for Pac-Man.
I think it was published by them.
Got it.
But not developed.
Got it. Well,
pretty good game name, I would say.
Thank you. Wow.
I think that would do okay.
I think it would too. I think we're like a couple of years away from being able to put fuck right out there.
Well,
I think you can do that on Steam, right? You just put that on Steam, it'll be fine.
Or you can do anything there.
On the Switch.
I think that would even fly on the Xbox. Yeah, I think it would fly.
Nintendo showing titties on the eShop, so
all you have to do is put a star where the U is, and you're good to go.
Right. Well,
the
welcome to
the symbol for asshole. You mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just put that in there.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the show, everybody. This is our special favorites of 2022 episode, where we'll be talking about our top 10 movies and TV shows and our top 5 favorite games of 2022. Not the best. Our favorites. There's a difference. We don't know what the best is. Shipwreck played everything, but we didn't.
I did not play everything this
No.
year. I can tell you that.
I saw your spreadsheet was very lacking. It was impressive still, but it was only like 50 rows.
What's spreadsheet?
You have a spreadsheet. Yeah. I don't even have enough to fill a spreadsheet. I could do it all on like a little notepad.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to go through all that stuff, of course. But I think what everybody wants to know, in fact, there was a CAGbag question about it. Everybody wants to know the status of Shipwreck's giant fucking TV.
It's right there. It's right there. You can see the corner of it. Here, let me see if I can.
You can break everything.
Don't break everything. Don't break everything.
It doesn't look that big from there.
It doesn't. It doesn't look that big from there. I mean, it looks big.
That's what she said.
It's enormous. It's
98 inches.
Yep, 98-inch TV is. As I'm still messing with my camera here.
I want to know. I mean, I saw a picture of it in the garage, and it was pretty much like inside the box. It's even more ridiculously large. So it was like 3/4 the size of your Subaru.
Of the Forester, yes, It's 3/4 the size of a Forester. Not only height but length in the box. So the TV itself, it's really big. It was really, really heavy.
How did you manage that? And who did you
how'd you get it downstairs?
My neighbors helped me.
Oh, that's very nice. This is nice neighbors. Did you give them like a bottle of wine or something after that for helping out?
I gave them some beer.
Fair enough.
They've got 2 college age boys.
Mm-hmm.
So they're home for Christmas. And
that's who you enlisted, and you paid
that's
them
who I
beer.
enlisted. Yeah.
No, that's smart. Yeah. I've had my neighbor next door is in his 20s, and he's an electrician, and we utilize him for all of our electricity needs.
So you had 3 people total?
3 people to move it. Well, 3 people to move it, and then Mrs. Shipwreck came in too, and we had to attach the feet to it. So 2 people could be holding it up while 2 people were attaching the feet to it.
Yeah.
It's only like 120 something pounds.
Isn't that amazing how
it's just very unwieldy, right? Like, yes, it's wanting to go every direction but up when you're carrying it.
It's crazy how light televisions are. Obviously a much smaller TV. I think it was 47 inches. I bought my mother a new TV for her bedroom, and I brought it to the house. And
smaller.
Yeah, much smaller. I was able to carry it upstairs by myself. But the TV that she had in her bedroom prior to that was probably like maybe 12 years old. And that thing was smaller and must have weighed 4 times what that TV weighed. It was like, and I wasn't ready for it either when I went to go pick it up, because I'm like, TVs are light now. Oh, this one isn't. So, yeah.
So
that TV was probably heavier than your 95-inch TV.
98-inch.
I'm sorry, 98. I didn't mean to insult you.
So I know very specifically like what size it is because I was right at the limit. Like I was doing a lot of measurements on how this thing would get into this room because
You got to turn a corner.
you got to turn a corner to get to the stairs to come down. And so you're fighting that corner that you're turning at the same time you're fighting just the logistics of having somebody hold one side while they're going down the stairs, and the ceiling, right, is sloping down with the stairs.
Yep.
And so you're tilting and you're turning. And I think I could have got a 100-inch TV down here. So
So in 7 years, you can.
I mean, okay, so now we need to know, how is it? Like, how's the picture? What have you watched on it? Is there anything that stands out like this is the thing to test your new TV?
It looks really good. It's not, I mean, it's QLED, so it's not OLED, because if you want a 98-inch OLED,
That's 25 large, probably.
Oh, I think more than
More,
that.
35?
Yeah, I think it's 35 to 40, I believe. So it's not quite the value proposition at that point.
Right. It's not a Black Friday steal, you mean?
Right. So yeah, this TV, it retails for like 8,200 currently, I think. And Black Friday, it was right at it was $49.99. That was my cutoff point. Like, I'm not going to pay
prices are insane.
I'm not going to pay $5,000 for a TV, but $49.99.
Right. That's a
Sign
bargain.
me up.
They're
it's not a
practically
bargain.
giving them away.
It was a deal.
price.
It was a deal. It's not a bargain.
Right.
I'm not like I'm very fortunate to be in a position where I can say to my wife, "Hey, look at this TV's really on sale," and she's like, "Yeah, go for it."
You know what you need to do? You need to put tape on the floor and tell the children that they're not allowed to cross that line so they don't get too close to that TV and accidentally break it.
They're not going to accidentally break it. They know
They'll do it on purpose.
This is the room that we don't throw balls or horseplay in. But no, the picture's great. Like, it's so much better than what my 4K projector was, just brightness levels and dark levels.
Right. It must be a huge improvement.
It's a huge improvement. Yeah. So
I like this comment in the in the chat. Now I know what I mean when they say a 4K TV. Or should they should
5K.
Should I say 5K?
Yeah, my TV's 5K.
But not the resolution.
Yeah.
Hit to the wallet. All I know is I carried this 77-incher in by myself. No problem. I mean, it wasn't no problem. I was fucking shitting my brains out. I was so scared, like I was gonna break it. But I didn't have to bring it down any stairs.
I feel like such a loser with a 65-inch screen TV.
Yeah, you should.
I really am the worst.
I'm sure it's fine. But I was happy that it got here. Like I was convinced that Amazon was not going to deliver this TV, right? Like, they went out of stock, then it came back in stock, but at the higher price. And at the same time, like, they said that the ones that were on the website were going to get delivered before Christmas, right? It just said it directly on the website. So I'm like, okay, you're telling me mine's going to be delivered sometime in January, like over the phone, the first time I called them.
Right.
And the second time I was like, hey, what's going on? Like, this says I could buy it right now and it gets delivered before Christmas. It says that on the website.
For full price.
For full price. So I'm thinking like, oh, they're just not going to honor this. They're going to screw me over here because, like, there's not an unlimited supply of these TVs, right?
Sure.
Like,
Just the shipping alone on that must have been bananas.
Yeah, they had to get it, like, they had the whole like forklift like come out of the back of the truck and like drive it up to the house and everything. But so I called Amazon, right? I'm calling them, like, asking like, hey, I know you're going to give me the same line or whatever, but like, it's in stock right now and it says delivered before Christmas. And the customer service representative says, well, that's not what that means.
What does it mean?
And I was like, well, the words "it's going to deliver before Christmas" on your website are not what that means.
Christmas next year.
Right. He's
It's
like,
before
no,
Christmas.
that's just
Christmas.
That's just wording that we put on our website.
Right. Non-specific.
It doesn't guarantee anything. It's just wording that we put on our website. I'm like, I don't think that that's legal.
Or good for, your customers or anything. Good for and not truthful either.
But then like a day after that, they had called me and scheduled the delivery time.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
Cool.
Nice. Congratulations. Use it in good health.
Thank you. You know what we're watching on it?
A Muppet Christmas Carol.
No. The first thing it did serve up for me though, I don't know if you saw that. Like I set it up on and just logged into it. It's got Google TV or whatever. I wish it had the Roku, but it has the Google TV.
Mine has Roku, and it's the same brand, which is weird.
Yeah, anyway. They offer both Google and Roku, but they don't offer the 98-inch in Roku for whatever reason.
Whatever, you can buy a Roku for
it. The first thing it serves up to me is like, hey, I bet you'd like to watch Ernest Goes to School.
It knows. It fucking mined all your data already. Just as soon as you plugged it in, it's like
perfect. Yep.
Right. How about some baseball? Oh, it's winter, I guess. No baseball.
So what we've been watching, the kids. So Dashiell's started playing that new Lego Star Wars game, right? That's on Game Pass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so he played like the first step
of that,
or he played episode 4. Right, is where he started at, and he's only seen episode 4 and episode 1 previously, and so I'm like, oh wait, you're cruising through this game a little bit too quickly here, buddy. Like, so now like both of my kids are like, let's watch all the Star Wars movies,
all 3 of them.
So every night this week we've watched a different Star Wars movie. So we've
oh wow,
we've watched 4, we've watched 5, we've watched 6, we've watched 1. And we got through 2 last night.
So I have a question because I remember being that age, kind of probably closer. Was like, how old was I when? Doesn't matter. Did they love Return of the Jedi? Like, I feel like they must have exploded from that one.
That one is Dashiell's favorite.
Yeah, that checks.
Yeah, that's his favorite. Emmeline's favorite is Empire.
Also acceptable.
She likes Empire a lot. She also enjoyed 2, and
so she's moving out. You kicking her out?
Any better? She likes 2 because she likes the love story aspect of it.
Right?
I can understand that,
but it's so bad. Like 2,
it's hard to watch.
Oh, that's a terrible movie. I'm not saying it's not a terrible movie. The story is
fine. The story for 2 is
fine. The writing is horrible.
It's the direction and the dialogue.
Something about sand. Is that the one
all
with the sand?
Yeah,
all
sand
of it
is
bad.
in there, right? Like the structure of the movie is fine. In the last like maybe 45 minutes are actually very passable because that's when you get the action scene.
I would say that big arena fight, right?
The big arena fight, like
stuff it's not like bad.
It's not bad. You got Boba holding his dad's head. That's still kind of weird. Where he just picks up his dad's severed head in the helmet and just kind of like holding it. And Emeline's like, his head's still in there.
Why is it not dripping?
Right.
It's cauterized, I guess, from the lightsaber.
Yeah, that's what lightsabers do.
Clean. It's a clean kill.
Yeah. So
they're a weapon from a more civilized age.
Mm-hmm. Yes, very civilized. Clean. So clean. Yeah. That's cool. Good.
Yeah, it's fun. So we're gonna watch 3 next. And then go 6, 7, or not 6, 7, 7, 8, 9. And then
Rogue One.
Maybe no. We're not going.
People in the chat are like, Rogue One. No, Rogue One is not good, guys. I'm sorry.
Not good, and it's not for kids either.
No,
it's not for anybody.
Here's some characters. I hope you like them. They're all gonna die.
Pundu Jabba.
Right.
It's Jobu Waba.
Right.
Remember him? I clapped.
We'll probably watch Solo because I think they'll enjoy Solo.
Solo, you know what? Solo is probably a fine kids movie also.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Sabrina. Bye, Sabrina.
Anyway, enough bad Star Wars talk.
Mm-hmm.
Can't do that.
I like it because the kids,
sure,
they're liking it, right? Like they were. So Dashiell was getting a little bored during episode 2, like the first Well, you get the chase at the beginning, which is fine, right? The bounty hunter tries to assassinate Padme, and then you have the car chase, whatever.
It's a car chase. Yeah.
So that part's fine, but then there's like an hour of just people talking, and it's about like government and
trade routes,
trade routes, and this weird. So I get why the acting is so bad, because the director is asking both actors to act like they don't, like they try not to have emotions, right? That's the whole thing, is like, this is a forbidden love, and so neither one of these characters can show emotions,
even when they're talking to each other and no one else is around. Even when they're
talking to each other, right? Like, it's just so forced. It's like, I don't know. Yeah, that's probably difficult to pull off if you're trying to have this love story where neither character can show emotion. But
yeah,
I don't know. It's Avatar Mania now, though, right? Are you guys psyched? Avatar Mania?
Oh, I've seen it twice.
Awesome.
I didn't really like the first one.
No, I didn't either. I remember seeing the first one in the theater. I've never seen it again since.
Right.
I have no real interest in seeing the second one. I guess when it's on TV, I'll watch it the way it was meant to be seen in 2D on my couch, and I'll probably feel the same way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Avatar. Mm-hmm. Should we? Most of the show is going to be talking about our favorite stuff of the year.
Yeah. I didn't know if we wanted to talk, because I know we both saw it.
Sure, we can do a quick watch this jerks and
just because it's funny that we both watched. Black Adam was added to HBO Max. Cheapy and I watched it. Ship, did you watch it?
I know better.
Okay.
I was looking for I wasn't feeling too good, and I was looking for something to just like sit there.
I'll watch it at some point, but like, it's not high on the list.
I watched it in the morning. Like, it wasn't even like, oh, it's time to watch a movie, evening time movie. It was, oh, everyone's still asleep. I'll make a cup of coffee and watch Black Adam. That's on a Saturday morning. So
that movie could have used some editing.
How do you take your coffee?
The same way I take my movies.
The same way you take your Adam.
My Adams.
That movie has a lot of skateboarding in it for a movie about Black Adam. Right.
Like, how would you rate it in terms of like
Gleaming the Cube?
NBA 2K22.
I haven't played that.
Okay, so I'm going to describe a movie and you tell me what movie I'm talking about. So there's a country in Africa, and it's made up. And in this made up African country, there's like a god king with superpowers. And what he does is he protects this rock that can like power stuff.
Rare element. It's only
very rare element rock that's only found in this country from terrorists. Name the film.
Black Panther Adam.
Because those things are also all in Black Adam. It's like someone watched Black Panther and was like, okay, this movie made $1 billion. These are the reasons.
Right.
Someone who missed the point completely of why Black Panther was a good, important movie wrote a script and somehow sold it as the Black Adam script.
I just saw Black Panther Monday, the new one.
The new one? I liked it. It was all right.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Black Adam was marginally entertaining for about an hour and a half. And then I hit pause because the movie kept going and it's like 30 minutes are left. And I said, that can't be right. How long is this movie? 3 hours?
I said that to you. I texted you when there was 30 minutes left.
And I already done it already.
My exact text to you was, how is there 30 minutes left in this movie?
I turned it off. I didn't make it to the last 30 minutes because I had enough at that point. I figured the movie seemed like it was over. So
exactly what you think happens.
Sure. Great.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's how far the Warner Brothers execs got in it as well.
Yeah. Oh, it's a really bad movie. They're not making another one.
It's a good music video, though.
I mean,
not really.
I can't. It's like I watched the movie. I'm like, I don't understand what the point of any of this is.
And even the music wasn't that good. The musical choices didn't make any sense. Like, considering it was just like, hey, this is like a hard rockin' song. Let's just throw that in.
Well, they do play Painted Black.
Is that correct?
Yeah. That's like his whole. Well, he's a bad guy in the comic books. He's a bad guy, basically. He's not really an anti-hero in the comics either. He's really he's a classic, sort of classic bad guy. He's been around since the 40s, but he really didn't show up again until the 70s. And then He's a bad guy for Shazam. Not,
But he wasn't in the Shazam movie.
Because they were going to make this movie because The Rock wanted to play him. And The Rock's like, I'll play him, but I got to be the lead. And they were like, oh, so I guess you're not going to show up in the Shazam movie. And that's what happened. Now you know.
Anyway.
Yeah. It's very strange.
And you saw Bullet Train also?
I did. I watched Bullet Train.
That can't be good.
That movie's more enjoyable than Black Adam.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I
want to see Bullet Train. I'll watch that.
I think you'd like it. I think Chip will like it. I think Chippy will just think it's dumb.
We'll be annoyed by all the Japanese stuff, right?
Maybe you might, because I have no concept of what's right or wrong. Although maybe it's right. I don't know.
In life, you mean?
Mm-hmm. But at least that movie knows what it is. It doesn't try to be anything more than what it is, which is kind of like a dumb action, silly action
The name
movie.
of it's Bullet Train. Yes.
Right.
Yeah. I get it. Like
it knows what it is. Black Adam
John Wick on a train, right?
Yeah. Black Adam tries to be something it isn't. Like
Black Panther.
really thinks it's an elevated superhero movie, and it is not an elevated superhero movie.
Although he can fly. So he's elevated.
There you go.
Should we do our top 10 favorite movies in TV?
Yep. Number 1, Black Adam.
Perfect. I didn't rank my choices. I only ranked my game choices like we did last year.
I ranked my choices.
It's just too hard because there's just too many different, some movies, some TV shows. So we can do whatever. Why don't you start, Wombat?
Am I just doing all of them, or are we
no?
doing
We'll just pick one and we'll go.
Okay, I went with my 10th favorite show of the year. Was Moon Knight.
Okay.
The Moon Knight
these are shows and movies, right?
Yeah, all mixed together.
10 of each. Okay.
No, not 10 of each. Not 10 of each. 10 total. You can choose any breakdown you want. We do this every year. It's always the same.
I was just thinking. I wanted to know how checked out I need to be in.
A little spoiler for my list. Everything on my list, I watched for the first time at home. So that does include both movies and TV. So I guess that's one way to blend it together. But I watched Moon Knight. I watched all of it. We really enjoyed that. I liked it a lot, and my daughter loved it. So I think part of the reason why it's on my list is that it was a fun thing for us to watch together.
Yep.
So Moon Knight. I like Moon Knight. Also, Judaism.
Never heard of it.
There was no Judaism in that.
There's a whole bunch of Judaism in it.
What happened?
There are episodes that literally are. There's 2 episodes that are just about Judaism.
It was?
Yeah.
Didn't make my list. I watched the whole thing. Didn't make my list. No Marvel things made my list. There's a spoiler right now.
Yeah.
Didn't even come. No Marvel thing came close to making any of my lists.
I have 3 Marvel things. 4 Marvel things on my list. There you go. This is a spoiler for you.
I really liked Raised by Wolves this season on HBO. It got canceled, and they're actually removing the whole fucking series from HBO. So I guess that wasn't the consensus with the audience.
I tried to watch it, and that was too fucking weird for me.
It is very, very weird. I love the combination of religion and sci-fi. I've never really seen it done that well before. And also it's just straight up nuts, as Wombat said. There's just, you don't know what's going on half the time. And season 2 gets really crazy at the end, but they're not making any more. It's 2 seasons and done. But I thought it was pretty cool and unique. So it made my list. What about you, Ship? What do you got?
I'm looking.
What do you mean? Where are you looking?
I'm looking at my list to see what I got. I'll go with Ms. Marvel.
Nice.
That was a fun. That is probably either first or second favorite. That and WandaVision are up there as my 2 favorite of these Marvel TV shows so far that we've watched.
Mm-hmm.
That's my highest ranked. I'll get to it. We'll gloss over it for me so we can talk about it now if you want. But yeah, that was a really good show. I think it was really well made. It might have been 1 episode too long. It probably could have used a little bit of streamlining, but it tells a really good story of an interesting character. It's, something we haven't seen too much of in Marvel, where it's a little more grounded as far as what the stakes are, even though I guess technically she saves the world, but in sort of a smaller fashion. I don't know.
It's also it also is tapping into more the age of a lot of the comic characters rather than here's a bunch of 30-year-old dudes. So I think that goes a long way because there's not a lot of teenagers in the Marvel universe.
Yeah, I'm excited for the movie The Marvels this summer.
I am too.
I've even heard of that.
That's the Ms. Marvel.
It's Captain Marvel 2.
Yeah.
That will have Ms. Marvel in it as well.
And Photon. Monica Rambeau.
Photon. Yes.
Also, she was in WandaVision. So it brings together your three favorite things from Marvel into one movie.
Like I'm all in on Photon.
You know what? She's a badass comic book character. And one of my favorite. Did you ever read Next Wave Agents of Hate? That's some good shit.
I have not.
You should. She's in that. It's good stuff.
Give me all the Photon you can give me.
Yep. I'm with you.
In my butt. Who's next?
Like we're back to me, and I would say my 9th favorite thing of the year was She-Hulk. Speaking of Marvel stuff, I really enjoyed She-Hulk. I thought it was funny, different nice short episodes. I think it didn't overstay its welcome. There were some things in there that I didn't love. I don't. Can we spoil this now? Are we past spoilers?
I haven't seen it all, but I don't know that there's anything there that you could spoil for me.
I mean, there's stuff with the Hulk at the end that I didn't like. But Daredevil was great. So
was it the cousins having sex? She-Hulk and Hulk.
They're drunk.
That was the part you didn't like.
The excessive drinking.
Yeah.
The drunk orgy.
The drunk orgy at the end.
Incestuous orgy.
It's a very good show. I'd like them to make another season. She was great as She-Hulk, and she deserves another shot at playing the character. There you go.
My next pick was the movie RRR. Which is
that's a good one.
The first Indian movie that I've ever watched. It's on Netflix, and it's like a 3-hour action epic.
I should have put that on my list, and now I feel bad that I didn't.
Racist. You should feel racist.
I could have lied and said it was on my list, but I'm not going to.
Right.
And
you can give it an honorable mention. How about an honorable mention?
That's an honorable mention for me.
That
movie is fantastic.
Yeah, it was really cool, and I liked
it. It didn't make my list either, but I never watched the last 20 minutes of it. That's why it didn't make my list.
Oh,
I just never got back to it.
It's like Black Adam.
That was something fun. My son and I watched that together, and even he was like, "This is the greatest movie."
Right.
Like,
in the first 5 minutes, it's the greatest movie. Like when he just starts and he jumps into the crowd and just starts fighting everybody to get there was some guy they needed to arrest right away, and he's just like, yeah, it was insane. Just really, you can see they really learned from the Hong Kong wire movies. It's pretty cool.
You saw it's on the short list for the Oscars in all the main categories. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So
cool.
Mm-hmm.
What do you got, Chip?
Oh, let's go with Chippendale Rescue Rangers.
Nice.
I like that movie.
That's a fine pick.
I thought you were going for Welcome to Chippendales at first.
I'm like, wait, he saw that? No, you watched.
No. I watched Chippendale Rescue Rangers.
Right, similar.
Yeah, it's similar.
Have nuts, lots of nuts.
That one's a fun one because it has all the references for all the adults and all the fun stuff for the kids. So nice. I don't know. Chippendale Rescue Rangers.
Woo!
Serious. I heard that's up for all the awards as well.
It is.
Yes, all the major ones.
My next pick is one I don't think we talked about on the show, and it was another family-oriented film. So I guess it kind of goes well together. I really enjoyed Enola Holmes 2. The sequel to Enola Holmes. The sister of Sherlock Holmes.
I watched about 5 minutes of that first one, and I was like, yep, this is going to be annoying.
The second one is actually a lot better than the first one. I thought the first one was a little slow. It's trying to set up too much. In the second one, everything is already set up. So it just kind of goes straight into the mystery that they're solving. And it's a fairly interesting mystery. It's based on true events that happened in turn of the century London. And it's totally worth your time. And Henry Cavill's Sherlock Holmes deserves his own movie. I'll say that too. I think there should be
even though he's a huge asshole and he's impossible to work with, according to the latest reports.
Is he? I don't know.
Did you read that about The Witcher? Like they're not making any more Witcher with him, I think, because
I thought he left to go try to be Superman, and then they fired him from Superman.
It sounded like he's not great to work with.
That's a bummer to hear because he's really good in that movie. So
they actually said, like in the thing that I read, that he's too much of a hardcore gamer, and that mentality, like he was late because he'd be gaming, and he has like the same mentality, like that gamer, the toxic gamer mentality. It seemed like, I don't know. My next pick was Slow Horses season 2, which is an Apple TV series about it's a MI5 starring Gary Oldman. Gary Oldman as like the most grossest you've ever seen him in any role. He's very disgusting. He runs this bureau of MI5 agents who've all had some sort of they're like the outcasts, and he's like the head of the outcasts. They've all done something shitty in their careers and got sent to this place, and he manages them. But it's really tense and really well done. Even though the season's not over yet, we've been really enjoying that. Mrs. Chibi and I highly recommend it. Cool. What do you got, Chip?
Oh,
Chip, you're up.
My turn. Let's go Elvis.
Elvis was good.
I decided to put Elvis on this list.
Hey, if you could dream.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I like that a lot, actually.
Yeah. You saw it all
as
well?
Of course.
Okay, I watched that movie, yeah.
I mean, other than Tom Hanks, I like that movie a lot.
But if you look at like
why didn't you like me in the movie?
He's like that though. If you watch video of Colonel Tom?
Colonel Tom Parker.
Yeah.
He's like that. Like that's how he talks, and he looks like that.
It's just that it's Tom Hanks doing that. Like,
right.
He's too recognizable if you're like, that's Tom Hanks. Like every scene is like,
oh my boy, you gotta sing Jingle Bells, my boy. That's all they want to hear.
Right. Like he's miscast in this. Like they didn't need Tom Hanks in this role. They could have gone with just like
Austin
some nobody.
Butler, though. Austin Butler is so good.
Is that the guy who plays Elvis?
That's the guy who plays Elvis.
He's really good in it. Yeah, and I like I like the Baz or Boz or whatever he pronounces his name.
Baz Luhrmann.
Baz Luhrmann. I like his stuff. It's fun.
He does a good job of making musicals into movies. Like put them on the screen, they're fun.
Yeah. He's a talented filmmaker.
That was a good one. I'd give that an honorable mention. Sure.
I like that movie too. I'll also give it an honorable mention. Good pick.
What do you got?
I went with Ghosts season 2, the US version of Ghosts, the sitcom, the most watched sitcom in America, I believe. That show is fantastic. I know neither of you have watched it. I'm surprised that Chip and his wife haven't checked out season 1.
No. Mrs. Shipwreck watches that show.
Oh, she does. Okay.
Yeah.
Because there's some episodes on there that are better than sitcoms have been in a very long time. It's not. There's some dumb sitcom stuff in it. Don't get me wrong; it's still a sitcom. But then they'll do a curveball every now and again, where it's like, oh, by the way, there's some serious shit going on too. But they do it so well that it really works, and it's an impressive show for what it is, because it sounds like a one-note gimmick show, and they pull it off. And season 2 has been just as good as season 1. So. There you go.
Cool.
I don't think I watched a single sitcom all this year.
It's the only one on my list.
Okay.
Next on my list is a movie called The Wonder, which I think is on Netflix. I forget. Another movie about religion, takes place a couple hundred years ago in Europe, and it's about a girl. It's no. It's a thriller. It's a thriller.
I love the details you remember about this.
It's about a girl who basically is getting a lot of attention because she stopped eating and she's still alive. Like she hasn't eaten anything in like months, and they're attributing it to that she's blessed or something. And it's about that. It's really well done, super unique, and it's a great thriller. The Wonder.
Oh, maybe I'll check that out. I don't know. Should I check that out?
It's serious. It's good, but it's really well done. It's really well done, and it's not long.
What's your next thing?
My next thing is Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Similar,
Oh.
very similar to my
Was that
choice.
this year?
I think so.
That's
think it was.
crazy.
I think Sonic the Hedgehog 2 was this year.
I forgot I saw that.
Metacritic at least had it as this year when I was looking through the list of movies from this year.
I enjoyed that movie. I forgot I saw it. Until you
that's
said
fine.
it,
That's fine.
I forgot I saw it.
Yeah, I think it was very early in the year. I want to say it was probably maybe a February release.
Yes. Part of the James Marsden oeuvre of
of greatness.
Mhm.
Put him together with an animated character and
you kind of have magic.
You just go, right? Like they're gonna have to make, like, they should just start having him like just digital Ryan Marsden, just so he can be an animated character in all these movies too, like, to the end of time.
Sell his face rights.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. Sonic the Hedgehog 2, those movies are way better than they need to be. It's amazing to me what those two movies have done as far as kids knowing and being into Sonic the Hedgehog. Like, he was kind of like not completely gone, but not in the zeitgeist for sure. And now
he's
like
back.
Everywhere you go, you see a kid in Sonic stuff now. So good job, Sega.
Good job.
They did it.
All right, we're at I put this on the list because A, I really enjoy the show, and B, because I know that I'm the only person on the planet Earth that would put this in their top 10 list, and that is Guy's Grocery Games on the Food Network.
Oh my God.
See, that is the appropriate response. I actually love that show. I have it set to record on my DVR so I don't miss new episodes. And it's great. It's my favorite cooking competition show, mostly because it's more about personality, than anything else. I think Guy knows how to host a show. So I like Guy Fieri. I don't care.
Nice.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying anything bad about Guy. I would love.
This was season 17?
I think it's season 22.
Right.
Okay, I was close.
I think it's technically season 22 of Guy's Grocery Games. They did change up the game
really
a little bit.
You want to jump in there.
Right.
Yeah.
I have no game shows on my list, by the way. Just so you
This
know.
is
Spoiler.
technically a game show.
Zero game shows on my
I
list.
could have put Lego Masters on here, but I did not.
I was gonna put
it's the
Jeopardy
only
on.
reality thing I have on my list, though. It's
It's
only
a game show.
reality.
Isn't it a game show? Is it a reality show or a game show?
It's unscripted television, I guess.
Isn't
I
it
don't
a-
know. I
it's-
guess it's a game show.
Isn't it like
I
Supermarket
guess.
Sweep?
It's not like Supermarket
Oh, it's
Sweep.
not? Okay.
No.
I don't want to know. It's okay. I don't need to know. I don't need to know. It's okay. It's cool.
They make food, and they're judges who eat the food, and the judges go, "This is good" or "This is bad." And that's
Right.
kind of it.
Sounds like a game show.
It's awesome.
Next on my list is Our Flag Means Death, which was on HBO Max. It's the comedy series, the pirate comedy series by the guy whose name I can't pronounce. What's his name, Wombat? You're the only one who can say it.
Taika Waititi? Is it his show?
Yes, you're the only one. Yeah. He wrote it, I believe, and he stars in it. And it's very, very, very funny.
Cool.
And also touching and cute. Recommend.
We've watched most of the first season of that.
There only is one, isn't there?
I don't know. I never got past the first episode.
Oh.
It was too cringy for me.
Oh, it's so funny. Weird. All right. What else? Chip.
I will go with Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
I didn't put that on my list.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm making this up as we go here.
Okay.
I like Sam Raimi films. That was a very Sam Raimi film. It did not feel like the typical Marvel format. It could have, I don't know. It's not my favorite Marvel film, but I had to pick 10 things.
Nice. That's fair. My next thing on my list was Ms. Marvel, which we already talked about, so we could go straight into Cheapy's thing.
The next one on my list is
our first duplicate of the night, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know how many we're gonna have of those. Actually,
not many.
I don't any of these lists. Next one is another HBO Max series called The Staircase. That's about the Michael Peterson murder, starring Colin Firth.
Yes.
And he is like absolutely superb in that. And
the original title was Fucking Owls.
No. I think it's like there was a document. It's based off of a documentary, but this is a drama. This is a drama based on the documentary. And if you don't know the whole story, you're going to enjoy it that much more because it's pretty wild. And they did a great job with it. And the acting is top notch.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Ship, what about you? What do you got next?
Let's go with Thor: Love and Thunder.
That's on my list. These are all bad choices, I gotta say.
You gotta. If you ask me what I watch, it's not a lot of current 2022 heavy hitters.
Right. Nothing heady, not heady stuff.
I take it back. Bengals versus Chiefs, week 13.
That was a good show.
That was really good. Thor: Love and Thunder. That movie is very enjoyable to watch. As far
even
as
with all the cancer, I felt like I didn't know that movie was primarily about cancer. So I was like, oh, I was looking to watch something that was just going to be straight up fun.
Yeah, the cancer stuff. It wasn't the friendliest of things to have in the movie.
Right. I was like, why? Why are we doing this? This is supposed to be fun. Like, it's supposed to be trippy and fun.
Because that was the storyline from the comics. So they just took that storyline.
It happened so quickly there, right? Like, it's like, I wish we had more. Like, I guess, are we spoiling these things?
That's fine. Spoilers.
Yeah. Sure.
Whoop, whoop,
Spoilers.
spoiler.
I wish we had more Jane as Thor in the cinematic universe. I thought they could have done more with her than just a single.
Well, they had to get her to sign those contracts, which I think was easier said than done. Which is why we didn't see more Jane as Thor.
The Trade Federation was demanding her sign.
Something like that. Yeah.
She doesn't like sand either. And there was a lot of sand in that movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I sometimes forget that she was like in a Star Wars, that she was a main character in Star Wars for 3 movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. I literally forget sometimes that Natalie Portman was like, oh yeah, that's right. And she was in Star Wars.
Because her character sucked.
That's how you know. That's how you could give Hayden Christensen some like leeway as an actor, because she has chops, and they were not shown off in those movies, right? Like, it's like, oh, they told people to act this way.
Right. Someone in the chat is complaining that I spoiled that movie by saying that there was cancer in it. Dude, if somebody told me there was cancer, that a big part of the movie was cancer, I would have saved me the time of watching it. So I did you a favor.
Please, if you haven't seen Thor: Love and Thunder by now,
kiss my ass.
Yeah,
I saved you an hour and a half, or however long that movie is. 2 hours. It's definitely not an hour and a half, because none of those movies are. Yeah. Wombat, you're up.
All right, I'm gonna go. My last 4 are kind of in no order.
Sure.
Yeah. I'm going with Last Night in Soho, the Edgar Wright film that came out this year. That movie is so good. I love that movie so much. I thought it was so creative. The end is bananas. I know neither of you have seen it.
I'm gonna see it, I think, at some point.
I mean, I finally put things on my list. I'm like, this is not a comic book thing. This is like a real movie by a real director. And you're like, yeah, no, I haven't seen it. So I'm just going to say it again. Go watch Last Night in Soho. I think it's underrated. I know critics were sort of mixed on it. I think it's better than that. There's some really cool practical effects in that movie that you don't really see anymore. So I don't know. From a filmmaking point of view, I think it has a lot going on and it's worth your time. And it's an interesting story. So
cool. My next pick is a movie called The Outfit, which is a pretty small indie movie that takes place in a tailor shop in Chicago. And it involves...
That's the Mark Rylance, right?
I don't know any of the people involved with it. Couldn't name a single person. But the acting is really good, and it's a mafia story, sort of. But it all basically all takes place in this tailor shop. Taylor gets mixed up with these mob guys who are basically using his tailor shop as like a drop box. So he doesn't have much say in it, and he gets sucked into some shit, and it's just really a really well done small movie, which I would recommend.
My father's grandfather, my great grandfather, was the dry cleaner for the mob, and they used to do that. And they would bring in one suit and he would give them another suit.
Right.
Like that's what he used to do. And
you might appreciate this movie a lot because
and then one day my great grandfather just didn't come home.
Oy. Yeah, you should watch this movie. You might enjoy it. It might be have a personal.
I'd be like, I've heard these stories.
Yeah, the outfit is very, 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 very good.
Yeah.
Chip,
watch The After Party.
Oh, that was a good show.
I liked that show.
Yeah, that's another one that's worth your time.
Yeah, that's a Apple TV Plus exclusive.
What's it called?
The After
Party. Did you not watch any of that? The murder mystery with what's her name? What's her name? Why am I blanking?
Natalie Portman?
No.
Rose McGowan.
No, stop that. Anyway.
Miss Marvel?
It has Ben Schwartz in it, Sonic the Hedgehog. So
it does have Sonic.
This is your second Sonic.
Right.
And Sam Richardson, who's in I Think You Should Leave and Detroiters.
I just watched
that
that
the
again.
After Party, it's a murder mystery about a high school reunion after party, and every episode is through the eyes of a different.
Tiffany Haddish is, by the way, is the person whose name I can remember.
Correct. That is a person whose name I don't remember. It's told through a different character's eyes, and it's a different style and genre each episode.
Oh, interesting. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You
one
said Apple?
episode will be
Apple, yeah.
Apple TV. So like one episode's like an action movie, and the next episode's a musical. One episode will be like a rom-com.
Yeah.
So it has a lot going on for it. It's a very funny show.
And it's well written as far as like I'm sure some people could guess who did it, but
I did.
Not sure. Some people are gonna guess it no matter what. Somebody's gonna guess it, right? Like but it's well written and has enough twists and turns to keep you interested.
I agree. That show is very good, and yeah, you should watch that.
Is Sam Richardson funny in it?
Yes,
he's very funny.
Yeah.
I had to get some blood work done this week, and I'm very bad, as you know, with everything. So I Think You Should Leave on my phone, and I was watching the Little Buff Boys sketch while they drew my blood. I told the guy, I was like, look, I got a big problem with this stuff. I gotta just watch this show here, and I'm just gonna do my thing. All right, is that cool? And he's like, yeah, go ahead.
That's like me at the dentist. I get it.
Oh my God. I was like, and it worked because I was laughing and yeah. Go ahead, Wombat.
I'm gonna say this next. So I hope it doesn't steal too much of Shipwreck's thunder. But next on my list is Severance.
That was next on my list too.
The Apple Plus TV show.
It's on my list as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's stealing any thunder from me.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a sweep round of Severance. That show
because it was the best thing that came out this year.
It was probably the best show probably the best TV show of the year, even though it's not number one on my list. But
I think they reused the hallways in the current season of Mythic Quest.
That's funny.
There's at least a callback to it.
They filmed part of it at the Mohonk Mountain House, which I saw those scenes the week after I came home from the Mohonk Mountain House.
Nice.
So that was kind of cool. But yeah.
Cool thriller on Apple TV.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very good. Mine aren't so much in like order at this point. You know, like
are we going right back to me since we all went with Severance, or do we want to?
I'm going.
Okay.
White Lotus season 2 was very fantastic, and just great casting. Like they just don't miss. Every casting is perfect. From F. Murray Abraham, who even knew that he was still alive.
He was in Mythic Quest,
and also Moon Knight.
Your kid. Oh, he wasn't Moon Knight. Who is he in Moon Knight?
He's Khonshu.
Oh, right. He was just a voice, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So what?
Yeah, whatever. I thought maybe, I don't know. I didn't think about it too much, but I was like, holy shit. It's very tense, funny, like a lot to think about, a lot of great themes that, you know, at least I could relate to, you know, being a married person and just like, you guys didn't watch it.
People trying to murder you. Is that like something?
Did you guys watch it? You didn't watch
have?
it. You didn't watch any of it.
No, my wife watched all of it, so
okay.
you
heard all about it.
Yeah. Secondhand White Lotus.
It was so good. I just loved White Lotus. I loved the first season, and the second season was just as good, or if not better.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
What's next for you, Mr. Shipwreck?
I watched Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. That's another thing I watched.
No more. Namor.
Namor. Yeah, he was in there.
He's in there. He's got wings on his feet.
Yeah, he sucks.
Mm.
That's the biggest problem with Black Panther Wakanda Forever is that I don't like Namor. Like I came in not liking Namor, and then the movie did indeed have Namor in it. A lot of Namor.
It's Namor, or I thought it was Namor. It's not Namor.
It was Namor.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh.
Namor, whatever.
Namor.
Right.
I don't care. Do you know why his name's Namor? It explains it in the movie.
I'll never know.
Do you know
I'll
the
mark you
original?
down as Solo.
Do you know the original reason why his name is
Was it because
Namor?
there's no more of his kind? Is that why? He's the last of his kind?
It's more. It's actually a little cringier than that.
Oh my God.
The comic book reason is because Namor spelled backwards is Roman, and Atlantis was originally part of Rome. That's the comic book reason.
Right.
But why is she named Namora?
She's a Roman.
Yeah, she's a Roman.
Um,
And I think
Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, it's good. There's a little bit long. Like there's a lot of stuff in it that's like, I don't know. Let's speed this up a ways. And then obviously they've got a difficult thing to work with as far as Chadwick Boseman, his death and everything. They handle it well in the movie, but at the same time that kind of handcuffs him in that you don't see a Black Panther suit until like I don't know, 20 minutes left in the movie or so.
Oh wow.
Yeah, there's some issues with that movie that I didn't really like. My lights went off. I hope to see Namor again because I think that if he could be handled a little bit better and be a little more interesting. Alexa, turn on all the lights.
A standalone movie, perhaps.
Not even that. It's there. Part of what makes Namor a great character and an interesting character is, he's a king who knows he's a king and he takes no shit. But sometimes he does the right thing because for his own reasons. Like there was in the comics, this Canadian guy saved his life in World War II. So he spent the rest of that guy's life, because Namor doesn't age, like making sure that his family was taken care of.
Sure.
Because that's like a Namor thing. Meanwhile, he hates all humans except for like that one guy. Or in the late 80s, early 90s, when, corporate raiding was the thing in like the news, he became like a Wall Street guy and he started wearing suits and going to board meetings and buying up real estate in New York. Like that's
underwater real estate.
No, like Manhattan real estate, like buildings and shit.
Why?
Because he wanted to show that he had the wealth and the power to do that Atlantis wasn't just people underwater. Like there was just more to him than just the guy underwater. But anyway,
right.
I don't know. Also, he likes to, sleep with men's wives is also a big part of his character. And they didn't really touch on that.
Maybe next time. All right. What's your last?
No, there's two things left.
I only have one.
I only have one.
Someone can't count, and I think it's
Wombat. 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, 1.
I'll go if you need to count more.
I have 10 things. You're making me nuts.
What do you mean?
I have 10. I said Moon
No.
Knight,
1, 2, 3, 4,
She-Hulk,
5,
Enola
6,
Holmes,
7, 8,
Ghosts, Guys, Ms. Marvel, Last Night in Soho, Severance, 2 left. That's only 8 things. Stop gaslighting me.
I have one thing left.
Well, I'm sorry. Then
I only have one thing left too.
Well, I only said 8 because when I said Severance, instead of just coming back to me, you just went. So now I have 2 things.
Got it.
Anyway,
Go for it.
I was gonna say Wednesday, the Tim Burton's Wednesday on Netflix. That show was really fun, and I really enjoyed it. And I watched it all in a weekend, and
nice.
I recommend that. It's a lot of fun.
My last pick is The Rehearsal. which is the Nathan, what's his last name? Fielder. That's just a wild fucking show. I watched that with Ty, and we were both just like hands on head, like mouth open. It's just crazy. The whole concept is that he finds somebody who's got a problem, and then he's gonna help that person by leading them through a series of rehearsals to fix whatever bad situation they're in. They'll be able to practice with him and live out all the permutations, so they'll be able to address the problem in real life. And the movie, the series just goes fucking places that you don't expect, and it's just wild. And it's coming back for another season, and that was really cool.
What's your last thing, Chip?
Let's go with Weird, the Al Yankovic story.
Interesting.
That is something. Yeah, you want to hear my other point? So here's the other things. Here, I'll let you choose between my list of things that I recognize that I watched this year.
Uh-huh.
All right. So we're down to The Bad Guys. Hocus Pocus
saw that
2.
I did not see that.
DC Super Pets.
I saw that.
Luck.
I did not see that.
Hotel Transylvania Transformania.
I did not see that.
The Princess.
I saw that.
Yes, you did. Slumberland.
I saw that too.
Uncharted.
I saw that.
And A Christmas Story Christmas.
Ooh. Wait, what about, you know what I thought you saw that I think you liked? Didn't you watch The Adam Project?
No.
Oh, you should. You'd like that.
Sure.
It's not on my list, but that's an honorable mention for you.
So I think Weird, the Al Yankovic story.
Is
the pick of that litter right there.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have any, like, not only did we didn't have, except for Severance.
Womit has one left.
Yeah, go ahead, Womit.
Oh, I was going to say, and I know it's something that Cheapy hated, but it was actually, I think, one of the best things I saw this year, and maybe my favorite Marvel thing since Endgame.
Werewolf at Night.
Was Werewolf by Night. I really liked how they did it. As someone who's sort of a nerd for Universal horror movies, and I like that it was a 45-minute
I like that
presentation. Like, here's 45 minutes. Here's everything. Here's some weird ass characters. Here's some deep cuts for like diehard Marvel fans. Here's some references to movies that only super nerds have watched. And I think it did a good job. And it also, it gave no shit when it came to violence too. So I don't know. I feel like it hit all the notes and it did something different in an oversaturated genre, and it deserves a lot of credit. And if you have 45 minutes to spare and haven't watched it yet, you should totally watch Werewolf by Night.
Unless you like things that are about stuff, then don't watch that.
I thought it was about stuff.
Not really. It was like a music video with no music.
So?
Let me give you just a few honorable mentions, then we can move on to the games. Welcome to Chippendales on Hulu is excellent, and Kumail is like outstanding in it. His character as the founder of Chippendales, like, is he the bad guy or the good guy? Like, I don't know. Like, he's very sketchy in it, and it's a great performance as like a flawed character. And it's a fun show, even though there's some dark shit going on in there, I guess. I would recommend that a lot. Like, it's fun watching women enjoy watching male strippers. You can't help but feel good somehow. Also, real quick, What We Do in the Shadows was good. Murderville, I liked a lot.
Oh, I like that show too.
That was really fun.
Did you watch the new one?
I did not. It looks good though.
You should watch the Murderville Christmas special.
Yeah, I watched the trailer. It looked cool. I watched. I really liked The Boys this year. The season was real good of The Boys.
I never watched it. I never got around to it.
This season, or you didn't watch the first season either?
I watched the first season, not the second. Yeah,
it was pretty fucking good. And there's a movie called Something in the Dirt, which I watched a couple months ago, which was real good.
Yeah. And to answer Darkness in the chat, I will watch Top Gun Maverick on, I guess, Christmas is when it hits streaming. So, yeah.
Yes, the Vow season 2 was good as well. Darth Rook. Yeah, I didn't watch Top Gun Maverick.
No, it's not on TV yet.
Right.
Yeah. When it's on TV, I'll get around to watching it.
Yes.
Yeah. So. Mm-hmm.
Do you want to do a?
One of my honorable mentions I would want to just bring up is the Batman. I really, That's it.
Yep.
Okay. You were saying?
Is there an ad that you're supposed to be doing?
Yes, there is an ad this week. I'll do the quick ad and then we'll move along. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Unfortunately, life doesn't come with a user manual, so when it's not working for you, it's normal to feel stuck. Navigating any of life's challenges can make you feel unsure, whether it's a career change, a new relationship, or becoming a parent. Therapists are trained to help you figure out the cause of challenging emotions and learn productive coping skills, which makes therapy the closest thing to a guided tour of the complex engine called you. There's a lot of benefits to therapy. I've seen it firsthand, whether it be, you're just getting coping skills, self-empowerment, dealing with trauma. There's just so many things and so many benefits. And if you're feeling unsure about anything, I strongly recommend it. As the world's largest therapy service, BetterHelp has matched 3 million people with professionally licensed and vetted therapists, available 100% online. Plus, it's affordable. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to match with a therapist. If things aren't clicking, you can easily switch to a new therapist anytime. It couldn't be simpler. No waiting rooms, no traffic, no endless searching for the right therapist. Learn more and save 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/CAGcast. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/CAGcast.
Awesome. Should we get to the games?
Sure.
This one I ranked from 5 to 1 in a definite order, a more definite order.
I.
My TV's and movie was a light order, light ordering. Chip, why don't you go first with number 5?
Sure. I went with Rogue Legacy 2 for my number 5.
Nice. I still want to pick that up at some point. As this part of me that knows is that the day I buy it will be the day they announce it for Game Pass. So.
Yeah,
that's how it works.
Like the first game with more stuff. I still have to get all the way through it to the end. I found I skipped around a lot this year on different games and was playing a lot of stuff that was not from this year. So my list was tough to find stuff that I was far enough in that I could consider, yes, it belongs on the list this year.
Nice. Shit, I barely played any game, so it was hard for me to put 5 games together at all.
Who's next?
I'll go next.
Okay.
I put Atari 50 on here.
That's on my list, but higher up.
Oh, wow. I just thought it was a really great take on the compilation genre, which is just, usually they're shit. They're usually just shit, just like a cash grab. But clearly they put a lot of energy and time into making a good product. And I really liked how I could sit with Ty and go through some of these games with him and go through the history. And it was a little video game father-son bonding.
I have that on my list. At number 3, actually.
I just thought it was on my list.
Wow. See? Holy shit. So we got we got a winner here.
We have a winner. I mean, it's such a great compilation. It's such a great online museum that you can go back to learn about the history of video games. So many unique things. And it's not even just the early stuff. It's more even like the Jaguar era stuff that I honestly knew very little about. The Lynx and the Jaguar, consoles that I never even really saw in person outside of Long Island RetroCon, that it was kind of cool to have a little bit of more background on that as well. So, yep, on my list at number 3. But anyway, that's not my last pick.
All right. Ship? Oh, what? You got to do your 5th pick. You got to do your 5th pick.
I haven't done my 5th pick yet.
Do it.
It's actually the game I spent, according to Achievement Hunters, the game I spent the most time on the Xbox that came out this year with 70 hours was Elden Ring.
That is on my list too.
I put Elden Ring at number 5. I mean, that game is groundbreaking in many reasons. Some good reasons, some a little bit frustrating.
How many hours did it say?
68.
I had 10. I thought that was a lot. That was like my most played game also. Like
I had
10 hours.
68 hours in Elden Ring. I did round up to 70, but what can you do? Sue me. Yeah, I played a lot of it. I got, I learned a lot, but it also was very much a homework game of going online and like, wait, what am I supposed to do? Where am I supposed to go? I need my games to have a little bit more streamlining in it personally, but I can also understand why this game is so important and revolutionary and played by so many people, which is why I wanted it on my list, because I see its value, even though its value isn't necessarily for me, but I did enjoy the time I spent with it. Does that work?
Sure.
Yeah, that's fair.
My next?
Yeah.
Sure.
I think Shipwreck is, but
okay, Elden Ring was number 3 for me, by the way.
Okay. Oh, look at that. Your number 5 was my number 3, and your number
Right.
Yep, you're next.
Cool. My number 4 was Sonic Frontiers. So is
that about
game...
toothbrushes?
Yes.
The Sonic Care toothbrushes?
Mm-hmm. It's a really pretty well done Sonic game.
Wow.
So
which one?
Sonic Frontiers. It's the new Sonic the Hedgehog game.
The open world.
Right,
it's the open world Sonic game that you also go into traditional type Sonic levels, both 2D and 3D based ones. I don't know. There's just a lot to do in it. And
did you finish it?
We have not finished it all the way because we've gotten distracted by other things that my son.
You were waiting for the new TV?
I do want to see it on the new TV. I haven't played it on the new TV yet, but I'm sure it will look fantastic on that. Yeah, I don't know. I like Sonic games, and I like enjoying playing a Sonic game. Like I'm going to play all the Sonic games, but it's a lot more fun
nice
to play
when they're
them.
good, right?
Yeah, it's a lot more fun to play them when they're actually good.
Right. Just like the movie. It's like a pleasant surprise that they're able to make a good Sonic movie and a good Sonic game this year.
Yeah, and this is nowhere near as good as what the movies are, like comparatively.
Sure.
But it's still like they figured out how to make Sonic kind of relevant without just making the old game style again.
Right. Makes sense.
Yeah.
My number 4 pick, this is controversial because I just swapped the game out of my honorable mentions and put this one in. Shanafan is going to really enjoy this pick.
Is it wrestling?
It is WWE 2K22, which apparently I played like a lot of that. I don't know how. I mean, I used to play a lot of wrestling games when I was younger. All the NES ones, all the arcade ones. And this really brought those memories back, and they did a good job of like an arcade style wrestling game that anybody could just pick up and play without ever having played the other ones at all. I don't really know any of the new wrestlers, the current wrestlers, so I would have had a lot more enjoyment out of it if it was just all like guys from the 80s and 90s. They do have some, but
create yourself.
You can do that too. They have I tried to do that.
I'm sure you can do it. Did you create yourself?
I did, but I wound up not doing that. Not really playing with myself.
How's the skateboarding?
There's no skateboarding. Yeah, it was fun. It's a fun game. You can play online, whatever. It's not rocket science. It's fucking wrestling. Congrats, Shanafan. We did it. We did it.
We're up to number 4. My number 4?
Yeah.
All right. My number 4 is a game that, although it technically isn't new, it had some revolutionary changes to the 5-year-old game that is Fortnite.
Wait, Fortnite is number 4?
Yeah, I put it 4th on my list.
Oh my God. What?
The reason why it's number 4, even despite the fact that I play it constantly, is because it's a 5-year-old game, and I feel like it's cheating to put it higher.
How come? Why did the True Achievements thing not pull Fortnite?
Because it didn't come out this year.
Oh, is that what it's doing?
Yeah, it's showing your games.
That makes a lot of sense. Because okay.
Although they did introduce no build mode this year, and they did release a new map this year, there were tremendous changes. No build mode being the most dramatic and probably the best move they've made in, I don't know, 5 years. So the game is, keeps going. It looks amazing. You should download it just to see how it looks on your TV because of the new engine.
Not gonna happen.
But
It's not gonna happen.
That's fair. But I still love it. I'll still keep playing it. It'll probably be on my list next year as well. As long as they keep, pumping out good content and a decent season pass. I mean,
I thought for sure that was going to be your number one pick. So now I'm all fucked up.
It's not my number one pick. It's definitely not my number one. Right. It was a toss up between that and Atari at 3 and 4.
Okay.
Really, it's a tie for third.
Mm-hmm.
But that's where I would put Fortnite. Because again, it's not brand new, so I don't want to say this is the new hotness that I played this year. But I played the most of it, so it kind of needs to be it needs to be brought up. Mm-hmm.
Is my number 3 up next? No, I said it. I said it already. It was Elden Ring.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm up.
Yep.
Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga.
Nice. I started that. I'm not very far.
Okay. So we're 5 movies in because that's how many we've watched so far. It does a really good job of improving quality of life in a Lego game. The engine's entirely new, so now you have it's got cover-based shooting and everything into
really?
it. So
oh wow.
Yeah, like it's a modern type of game. The graphics look fantastic.
Oh wow.
The humor's still funny. It seems like the levels are a lot shorter, which is very appreciated. Like some of the Lego levels can just last forever, and they've kind of segmented this out to where like you're in a story, but like you finish a little area of it, and then it's like, hey, do you want to continue on with the story, or just kind of like spits you back out into the open world and like leads you to where the next story is that you could start, or you can just wander around and do stupid crap, right? So it has the insane amount of content that's in all these Lego games, but it's really well done. I wasn't expecting it to be the departure that it is from the other Lego games.
I'm gonna play more of it. I'll play more of it probably during winter break.
Cool.
That's my plan.
And it's on Game Pass now.
I know. That's why it's my plan to play it during winter break.
Who's doing their number 2?
Yeah, because my number 3 was Atari.
Okay.
Which we already discussed. My number 2 game, and this is a first for me, and I think all the years we've done this show, this is my first mobile game.
Oh.
That makes my top 5.
Oh, snap.
Exactly. Marvel Snap. At number 2, the first mobile game I ever put on there, but it's also the first mobile game that I feel like isn't out to just, you don't hit a point when you're playing it where they're like, if you want to keep playing, give us $4. It doesn't do that. It monetizes itself differently where I don't feel like I have to spend the money. It's a lot of fun. It's an addictive game to play. I like doing the challenges. I like ranking up. I like unlocking new cards. I've hit a point though where I feel like I would like to be unlocking cards more often, but it hasn't kept me from playing every day. So it's also a new game, and they've been doing a lot of, work as they go. They're listening to the community. So my gut tells me that they're just going to get better. And I'm going to stick with it because, like I said, it's a lot of fun and I'm enjoying it. And, the Marvel hook, they got me in with their Marvel hook, and I'm deep in. I'm currently level 1,439. That's my player
level.
High.
That's
a high level.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
nice. Congrats.
Mm-hmm.
My number 2.
Yep.
Is Apex Legends. I'm not super excited about that, but the reality is I did play a lot of Apex Legends this year, and I had fun. I really haven't played any this month, but it's too late. I sunk a lot of hours into that. I might be done with it, but I did have a good run in 2022 with Apex Legends.
Good job.
My number 2 was Atari 50.
Okay.
Nice.
So We already talked about that.
All right. Oh, here we go.
So my number one game, a game that I finished, went to roll credits on, maybe the only game that really hooked me in, that I played basically from the moment I got it till I finished it, I think every day.
Marvel's Avengers.
And that is close. It is Marvel's Midnight Suns.
Oh, okay, cool.
That game is so good. Don't sleep on Marvel Midnight Suns. That game is it really is that good. It has a really unique, the turn-based combat system, which is engaging and fun and satisfying when you pull off a cool combo. The characters are cool. It's got all your favorite Marvel characters. They do a good job with the character designs. Spider-Man looks like Spider-Man and Doctor Strange looks like Doctor Strange.
Why don't they look like that on the box art?
I don't know. When you get those costumes, the last mission of the game, literally.
Why are they
66 hours
why are
into
they
the game?
trying to sell this game with those costumes on the cover?
I don't know. 66 hours into the game is when I got that dumb costume for Spider-Man. And I was like, this is a dumb costume for Spider-Man. They do have, because the basic costume for Spider-Man, it's the red and the blue. The blue's a little darker, like it's the more modern looking Spider-Man. I did unlock a variant of the costume where it's a lighter blue, the classic Spider-Man. So I switched over to that. But I mean, it's like
they were able to do that, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Good.
Like that's but that's sort of what this game is about, where it sort of leans into more like it knows that it's, for lack of a better word, it knows its heritage and it knows what people want to see. Like there's a lot of DLC costumes, and I don't like any of the DLC costumes. None of the DLC costumes are better than what the game comes with. It's one of the rare games where this is a single player game. Everything you need is in the basic package. You're going to be very happy with what you get for that price. You don't have to get the extra cosmetics. You don't have to get anything else. What's there is the best, the base game is the best game. And it's engaging. And it also scratches sort of I love the Dragon Age games. I played the crap out of all three of them. I played Dragon Age Origins twice. This has there's the in between moments are very similar to Dragon Age in that you're going through, it's not a house or a church, it's this abbey where you're talking to the other characters and you're making friends and you're healing this and you're upgrading that and you're there's a
you're
lot.
Boning everybody. You told us about this last week.
I told you about it last week. It's a really well-made game that I don't think is getting the attention it deserves.
Look at that cover. Cover's awful.
It is a terrible cover. I will agree with you 100%. You never hear the phrase "don't judge a game by its cover"? Didn't you learn?
Why is it bad? Because the costumes are bad?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They have these weird.
Every character is in black and gold on the
right.
cover. Like
it's those weird Midnight Sun costumes.
Marvel must have made them do that, I bet, or something, because there's no marketing benefit for that, right?
If you're going to show Captain America, you show Captain America in the red, white, and blue.
Of course.
Yeah, and this Captain America, unlike the Avengers game, this Captain America has the red, white, and blue with the red boots and the red gloves. I was so excited. I'm like, look, this is what Captain America is supposed to look like. Red boots and red gloves.
It looks like they just saved
Avengers
at the printer. Like they just saved money on ink because they only printed 3 colors on the box.
Even the hunter, the character that you create a character that you play as, is interesting in his or her own right, depending on what character you make. But even that's not the costume that you get when the game starts.
So weird. Yeah, I feel like Marvel must have made them do that to not take away from other games, or maybe there's some deal they have with the Marvel's Avengers. They can't. I don't know. Who knows?
I don't know.
Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I'm excited for the DLC characters though. I want to play as Deadpool and Morbius and Venom, and there's one more that I'm forgetting. So
Howard the Duck.
And Howard, you know what? I would totally be down for
Duck.
Yeah, for the Duck.
All right, my number one.
How would this look on a 98-inch TV?
I think it would look pretty good.
Okay. You might have sold me on this game.
I think you would like it. I think
Better
most
than the
of
cover.
it. I think most of it you could play with your kids around. You know, like there's no blood in this game. So, and it's a lot
I
of,
think they'd be fine.
when someone gets killed, it just says KO. It doesn't even say they're dead. It actually says KO, and big KO letters pop up in the characters.
That's what I yelled when Jango Fett got decapitated in the movie.
That's what I mean. It's like
He's
you could
just sleeping, kids.
Exactly.
Without his
you
head.
could pull off that nonsense of no one's dead. They were just knocked out.
Mm-hmm. That's gonna go back on just fine. It was clean cut.
I'm sure that was a Marvel direction too. Like you can't.
I'm very interested to know what you think about it, Chip. And if you hate it, I'll feel bad, but that's okay.
Well, Christmas is coming up. Maybe somebody got it for me. I don't know.
Santa. Yeah.
Maybe Santa's bringing it. I don't know. My number one is Vampire Survivors.
I knew it.
Not a surprise.
No, I think I checked. I think I have 45 hours into that game.
Holy
That's banana boat. That is a banana boat amount of time to play that game.
It's really good. I'm like maybe top 5 or 6 in hours played on my like friends list on that game.
That's even more insane.
Did you get the DLC?
I did get the DLC. Yes, I've been playing through the DLC.
Are you gonna buy the game outright before it leaves Game Pass? Because
I think I'll put the $4.99 down. Mm-hmm. This game is a $5 game at retail,
right?
In the digital retail world, which is insane to me as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't like how is this like guy or guys? I'm assuming it's a very small team. How are they just not getting sued out of their mind by Konami?
Because Konami don't care.
This wasn't a joint effort. I thought it was, because people said it was Castlevania DLC, but that's just what people are calling it. It's not really the name of it, I guess.
I don't think so. I know they're adding Castlevania to some other game, but not. I didn't think it was Vampire Survivors, but maybe I'm wrong on that.
I don't know.
But I mean, it's so.
Oh, you're saying the base game? You think?
Yes.
Oh no, nah. I mean, all those games look the fucking same. They're 8-bit games.
There's direct references to everything.
Oh.
Yeah, but it's all about what's been trademarked and what hasn't. It's like,
sure,
you can't say, "Oh, this bat is our bat." I'm like, no, lots of games have bats.
Right.
This isn't our Santa water.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it has stuff that plays on typos and mistranslations from the original Castlevania game.
That's satire.
It would be a difficult case.
It's just so like right. It seems like it's a little bit too on the nose with the Castlevania stuff, but I love it. It's fantastic. I don't know. There's a lot of depth to a game that uses 0 buttons, which is incredible that they could pull that off.
That was an honorable mention for me. It almost made my list. I switched it out at the last minute for the wrestling. I really appreciated that game is a real pick up and play game. Like, there's literally no fucking instructions in the game to be found. There's no tutorial. There's nothing, and it doesn't need one. You figure it out. It's for a game that looks like it's complicated when you see a screen and you just see all the shit going off. Like, it almost looks like inaccessible, but the reality is you'll figure it out pretty quickly, which is great design. Mm-hmm. Do you know what my number one pick is?
Wait, let's see. I'm trying to think.
But nothing happens. Woo! Give up? You'll never get it. This game never even entered your mind zone. Immortality. Do you know that game? That's the game where you're watching the movie clips?
I played a lot of that.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I played 10 hours of that.
I don't think I played 10 hours, but I might have played 5.
Which got me to the credits. And I still think about that game because, that's the game where you're screening clips and trying to figure out what happened to this actress just by watching clips of like well-produced scenes from fake movies. They look like they could be real movies, but they were just made for this game. And I just thought, even after I played it,
boobies.
There are boobies in it. Yes, plenty of boobies in them. And I just kept thinking about this game even long after the credits rolled. And I liked it so much that I never went and read like what the right interpretation was, if there is one. I just liked having my own theories, and I never even discussed it with anybody. I don't know. It's like when you have your own interpretation, maybe it means more, even if it's and also I think like I might be way off, and I just don't want to feel bad that I got it way wrong. But Immortality, I think it's still on Game Pass. Check it out. If you like movies, if you're a movie fan.
You could also play it on your phone if you have Netflix.
I would really recommend playing it on a TV because it is supposed to be simulating watching scenes of movies. And while they're not like obviously like action,
not
movies,
everyone has a TV. Some people only have phones.
I think everyone listening to this show has a TV. I would be pretty surprised if they did not. They may not be 98 inches, but Immortality is just so well done, so unique, so original and thought-provoking, and just like the best acting of any video game that I've seen. Like it's just so great. Immortality. There it is. Any honorable mentions that you want? I'll give you a few honorable mentions while I'm here. Chorus, that flying game, that space shooting game, Corvus. Trek to Yumi, I played a bunch of that. It was pretty fun. And that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, played that with a fam, and it was pretty fun. That's it.
I don't know if I do. I mean, I played some of Tiny Tina's Wonderland. That was okay.
That's one of my honorable mentions. I just need to dig into it more. Yeah. Right? It's fine. It's more Borderlands. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What else came out this year? That's like I can't even.
Infernax is on mine. That's another one Konami needs to sue. Another Castlevania game. that's not Castlevania. That one is good. That almost made my list, but
Evil Dead the game is pretty good if you like that kind of game, the asymmetrical online shooter. For me it still has that problem where it's a lot of fun to play as the hunters. I don't like playing as the monsters. I don't find that interesting. So that's just me.
And the other two games I had here were Dying Light 2, which is very good. I just haven't gotten far enough into it. And Tinykin.
I couldn't remember the name of that game.
Played as well.
Yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to do a couple of CAGbag questions or just say goodnight? I leave it in your hands.
Are they good ones?
Oh, yeah, they good questions.
Well, you can decide. You don't have to answer if you don't want to. Toxtra wrote in, or Todd of War, what was the best part of 2022 for each of the hosts? And he says for him, it was seeing his son earn his driving license. Scary to see him drive on his own, but it's cool to see him grow as a person.
I'm going to say it was when all my wife's cancer tests came back as negative. That's
a highlight.
It's a highlight.
A bright spot.
That was a highlight for the year, I think.
I would say watching Mrs. Cheapy get a new job, like since she did most of it from the living room. So I got to watch the whole process from start to finish. And she really enjoys the new job. That was a pretty good bright spot. Winning 3 table tennis trophies this year was pretty good.
Bad.
And helping out and volunteering at the club, like really
that was a good story. That was the highlight of my year.
Hearing the stories.
Yeah, I take mine back.
Dude, you don't even know, man. Fucking answering this phone all day. People calling in. Helping, volunteering at the club and just, bringing new people in. Like, it's just very rewarding to, I think you all probably feel the same way. When you have something that you're really into and you can bring other people into that makes me feel really good. Whether it's if I get you to watch a movie, if I get you to read a book that I liked or play a game or whatever, that makes me feel like I'm doing something good. I don't know why, but it just does that for me. So, yeah.
I think Wombat's more of the gatekeeper type. You like
he doesn't want to bring people in.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The last thing I want is for everyone to read all the comic books all the time. So yeah, that's my whole thing.
Right. And I practiced a lot of turntable stuff this year, which was cool. I got better. I liked seeing myself get better at stuff. That's good. And I don't know. And watching Ben excel at his like new career that's pretty cool. Weed industry. Mm-hmm. Like that was like, even though like I didn't really have anything to do with it, but it was still a bright spot for me just to watch like one of my friends like take a big chance on something and have it pay off. So that was really cool. What about you, Ship? Big TV, got it. Getting that TV down the stairs. That's a bright spot.
Yeah, getting the TV down the stairs without breaking it.
Huge.
Plugging it in and it still not being broken. Amazon delivering the TV. All these were big moments.
Yes. Literally.
Yeah. I don't know. I really enjoyed our family trip to Paris.
Yeah, that sounds like a highlight.
Yeah, that was fun. I'm enjoying my new job.
Nice.
So that was good in 2022. That's
good.
Enough.
That's enough. Plenty. That's plenty.
I didn't clean any toilets I wasn't hired to clean.
It's not that. It wasn't like there was shit all over them. They were a little dirty. It wasn't like I was scrubbing the shit stains.
Mm-hmm.
It's all good. Yeah. Anything? Let me see. What else? Oh, my mouse is flipping out. Here we go.
There's a question here about High on Life.
I actually played a little of that today.
I played some of that. I played the first bounty is what I did. The first.
Let me read this guy's question. Spanky Johnson writes in and says, "Is the success of High on Life a good indicator of what we will see on Game Pass in the future? Since Microsoft made the big investment on first-party studios a few years ago, is that a Microsoft first-party game?
I didn't think so, but
I don't think it is.
I don't think so either. It's Squanch Games. That's the Justin Roiland's company.
It's the number one Game Pass game.
Mm-hmm. People say it's really funny. That I want to play more of it. I found the shooting to be kind of weird. Like it just wasn't mechanically. I wasn't like too impressed with it.
Yeah.
So I didn't know if I wanted to stick with it. But hearing so many people talk so highly on it,
it didn't get the best reviews though. If you look at the Metacritic scores, it's sort of middling.
Mm-hmm. Because it feels 60s, like it's more entertainment than it is game, in the sense that the game mechanics just feel kind of sloppy. So I don't know. Maybe it gets better.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying. It feels okay though. I mean, I'm about 2.5, 3 hours into it. It may have made my list if I'd had enough time to get through it.
Right.
But it's humorous.
Do you think Spanky's question means like this is sort of like would you call this a AAA game? It's a bigger game, I guess. Not typical of, you do see some big stuff on Game Pass too, but maybe not like a new, like a day one release that's not a Microsoft title. I'm not really sure what Spanky's talking about when he says a good indicator of what we'll see, like a first person shooter or what. But I think maybe he means like a somewhat big game that gets released on Game Pass day one that's not necessarily a Microsoft game. Maybe. I guess because it's successful, that's going to bring, maybe it'll get some other developers' attention.
Sure.
Who knows? All right, that's enough questions, I feel. How do you feel about that?
I feel like that's a good call.
Okay. Let's thank everybody for listening to us in the year of our Lord 2022. And what? We'll say see you in 2023, which is also the 20th anniversary of Cheap Ass Gamer, which is fucking terrifying. And thank you, Wombat and Shipwreck, for a great 2022. Anything else?
Thank you as well.
You want to say anything before we say goodbye? Not really. All right, we'll see you guys next year.
Bread's done.
I just knocked over my garbage can.